Joining me now is Colorado Democratic Governor Jared Polis. He is also the chair of the National Governors Association. Governor, thank you so much for joining me. Really appreciate it.
A pleasure.
So you are backing Vice President Harris as the Democratic nominee for president. Do you think, based on the polling, which shows she matches up pretty evenly against former President Trump as President Biden, do you think she's the strongest person to take on Trump?
Yeah, look, I think first of all, I'm glad to hear President Biden is recovering from COVID. It sounds like he's back in full strength. But I think he made the right decision. He sort of looked deep in his soul, met with his family, his close advisors, and said, you know what, this is campaigns are brutal, 3.5 months. This isn't the kind of thing that you can't do after 8 p.m. You need to do 7, 8, 10 events a day. Kamala Harris is the future, right? This is about the future of America. She has the energy. She's ready day one. She's put criminals behind bars. She's tough as nails. She's smart. And she's served as vice president of the United States. So I'm enthusiastic about what she brings. The country is so ready to turn the page from these 80-year-old candidates like Donald Trump and embrace tomorrow. And that's what Kamala Harris is all about. Do
you think, given the flood of support that we have seen for Vice President Harris over the past day or so, do you think she effectively all but has this nomination locked up?
Well, look, anybody can run for the nomination at the convention. Kamala Harris is working hard to secure it. She's calling the delegates. I talked to her earlier this morning. I let her know that the Democrats in the Colorado congressional delegation have all endorsed her. She has a lot of momentum and a lot of excitement. She's the right person at the right time to lead our country. She has the experience, but she also has the vision and the tenacity to do the job to help grow our economy, to help expand trade opportunities for made and grown in Colorado and America products. And we're ready to go.
Let me just follow up with you on that point. How critical do you think it is that your party has a nominee by the time that the convention starts? In other words, there's going to be a roll call. That's the anticipation over the next 2 weeks or so. Do you think it's critical to have this nomination locked up, given how late it is, given that we're less than 4 months till Election Day?
Well, look, there's never a formal nominee until the convention occurs, right? And, your friends in the media love writing these little stories about what might or could happen. There were Arizona delegates that didn't want to put Donald Trump forward, and they might have conspired. But look, she's working hard to get the delegates she needs to be the nominee. There's so much excitement on the Democratic side, but also from so many unaffiliated voters and even Republican voters that have said it's time to move past the politics of the past. We need a new generation. Yeah. And now they're supporting Kamala Harris.
But Governor, you know what I mean. I mean, do you think she or whoever's going to be the nominee, would you like to see that person have it all but locked up heading into the convention when, yes, it does become official? Because there's concern that if it goes to the convention and there's an open convention, that would be chaotic and destabilizing.
Look, I think it says a lot about Kamala Harris's character that she's not taking this for granted. She's putting in the work. She's on the phone. She's calling the delegates. She's calling the members of Congress. And I think that's going to get her there. Of course, if politics is an art form, right? The minute you take it for granted, it's no longer yours. So if she just tried to coast in, she'd have trouble. But she's earning every bit of it. And of course, that's one of the many reasons that she's going to be an incredible president of the United States, with the tenacity and the work ethic and the intelligence that she brings to it.
Well, you are chair of the National Governors Association, so you have relationships with a lot of the names on a potential list of running mates. Do you think she should pick a governor to serve as her running mate?
Well, I think governors have the executive experience, which the American people want to see in the executive side of government in Washington. And frankly, they add value. They know their states. They know how to run things. And I think that's an exciting background to be able to bring. Of course, there's other people she can look at, people directly from the business community, from military backgrounds. But yes, we have some wonderful governors across the country. And I encourage them to look at all the talents that people can bring to bear to pick the person that'll be her best governing partner.
Well, you have, thinking about the record of the Biden administration, opposed some of the president's policies, including on tariffs. Would you advise Vice President Harris to reverse course, for example, when it comes to tariffs?
Well, look, and I say this to everybody who, agrees with some things and disagrees with others. Nobody's going to have a candidate they agree with every issue on, right? And I think President Biden's been a fine president. There's also issues I've disagreed with him on. I certainly am hopeful that Kamala Harris is more embracing of the amazing opportunities for made in America, grown in America produce by expanding markets overseas with our European allies. Really bringing back manufacturing to allied countries is an important national security initiative. We call it friendshoring, right? We have onshoring and friendshoring, expanding our relationships across the Americas. Senator Bennett from Colorado has a great bill, bipartisan in the Senate, to expand the U.S., Mexico, Canada trade agreement to other countries in the Americas. But look, there's many things that I think Kamala Harris will take a fresh look at. Certainly hope that's one of them. I know there's others, and I'm excited to have a leader that we can believe in for the future of our country.
Finally, Governor, I have to ask you, Republicans have been saying if President Biden can't run for re-election, he should step down. He should resign right now. I assume you disagree with that argument, but why isn't that a valid argument?
Well, I think, what I've been saying before is President Biden has a choice. Should he focus on being the very best president he can be for 6 months, or should he focus on being a candidate for 3.5 months? It's hard to do both, right? It's hard to do both when you're in your 30s or 40s, right? Campaigning is an 18-hour-a-day job. You can't stop at 8 p.m. Also governing. I'm relieved as an American. He's going to focus on being the very best president he can be for 6 months, put all of his time and effort into that. And of course, it's exciting to have a dynamic presence fighting for the future and for economic prosperity like Kamala Harris running for president of the United States.
All right, Governor Jared Polis, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Good to see you.
Likewise.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.